You're watching Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Around Town is sponsored by Chemung Canal Trust Company. They're really nice people. Trust is their middle name. Service is their motto. And I like them a lot, and that's why I bank there. If you ever come by to look me up, I'll be in the vault. Safe place. Have you ever wanted to take your loved one on a special journey? This is a fellow that can make it possible. He's Brian Perry, and he's Morningstar Carriages.
Yes.
Out of where, Elmira?
Watkins Glen.
Watkins Glen. He has, as you'll see in a minute, some fascinating things that you can use. So what I'm going to do, and he's all dressed up. This is what he wears when he drives the carriages. And what do you do with the horses? You take care of them someplace else while you're out now?
Yes,
they're
in
the
farm
stable
right now.
They're at the
stable.
Nice job. Anyway, he wears this, and he's going to tell you how he does all of this, and what the cost is, and where you reach him, and are you on the web. So now you got 8 minutes to do everything, and all I'm going to do is listen and applaud.
Yes, we are on the web, and you can also find us on Facebook with the Schuyler County Chamber of Commerce on their Facebook and under transportation. And we will be offering carriage rides on the weekends throughout the month of September until Columbus Day. And then after that, we'll be out again for Christmas offering horse-drawn carriage rides with a private ride with Santa Claus.
Really?
So if you'd like to start making reservations, I would suggest to do it now.
Yeah, you're pretty good. You have a lot of fun with what you do.
Yes, I do.
Is this an expensive thing?
It's expensive to have it up and going. Yes, it is. The horses are very expensive to maintain and take care of, and their shoeing, their grain, their hay bills, so it is quite expensive.
And when people want to take a ride in a carriage, do you have a specified route? Do you have a certain number of hours that you do it? And how much does it cost? Is it by the hour, by the trip, or do you design all of this for each person?
Well, it depends on what they desire to do.
Do you sing? You have a wonderful voice.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
Do you sing?
Only in church.
Good place to sing.
And in the shower.
Like me. Okay, tell us now, how much is it?
It all depends on what they desire, how long they want the carriage for. If it's for a wedding and we have to travel, for instance, we've been as far as Sonnenberg Gardens to do weddings, and it all depends on the mileage and where they're going to have their wedding. If it's in the village of Watkins Glen, it's a lot less expensive, and it all depends on how long they want the carriage for.
Average in Watkins Glen, are you speaking very expensive or just living wage?
In Watkins Glen, it's about $300 for the first hour.
Mm-hmm. And you take them around Watkins Glen?
Yes. And we've also, we have in times past gone from St. Mary's in Watkins Glen to the village of Montour Falls to have the reception in Montour Falls. So the horse is able to travel. In the wild, the horse can travel up to 25 miles just to look for water and food. So working them is not a difficult thing for them to do.
You sound like you really have a wonderful time, and you must have terrifically interesting stories about the people you drive in the carriages. What do they do behind you when you're getting the horses to move?
Well, it all depends. If it's a wedding, sometimes they have wine and champagne. And also in the future, we're going to have stereos in the carriage, so...
I thought they'd be smooching.
Well, they do smooch. In the future, we're going to have stereo, so if there's somebody that wants to propose to their wife-to-be or their fiancé, they can play their favorite love song if they would like. So we're going to be equipped with that in the next couple months.
You really have it all figured out.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. I learned it at Disney World. I used to work for Disney.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
What did you think of him?
Of Disney?
Yeah.
A most wonderful man.
I thought so too. I interviewed Disney in his offices in California, and he was just a great gentleman. And he had a table with a sheet covering it, and he said, "I'm going to show you something." And he pulled off the sheet, and there was an exact replica of Disneyland before it had been built. And he says, this is what I'm going to build in Anaheim.
And he did it.
He did it, and everybody called him Walt when we walked around to lunch. He was always Walt there, and he knew them all by name. The gardener, the waitress, everybody. He was terrific, wonderful gentleman. So we have one thing in common anyway.
Great.
What do you do in real life?
A pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. What do you do in real life? Do you have other jobs too?
Not at this present point in time, just the horses, and I work sometimes part-time for my father in construction.
Well, the horses are enough to take care of.
Oh, yes, they are.
That's a big job. Well, we have about 1 minute left to tell everything you can think of so people can contact you. You're on the web, what's the number, etc.
Okay, you'll be able to find us when we're out at the Seneca Harbor Park next to the Harbor Hotel.
Website?
www.morningstarcarriage.com, and you can also find us at morningstarcarriage2yahoo.com.
And you have these that you give away.
Yes.
That's a beautiful carriage. Do you have many carriages or one?
We have 4.
4 carriages. And are they period pieces?
One is a colonial Victorian out of Philadelphia, the historic district of Philadelphia. And that's a beautiful carriage. That's a turquoise robin eggshell blue with pink roses painted on it.
Seats 4?
It seats 4 adults comfortably.
Mm-hmm. They just are great upkeep too. You keep them so clean. Is that hard work?
But thank you.
It's hard work to keep them so clean.
Yes, it is.
Do the people that use them keep them clean too?
Yes.
That's nice. Thank you very much. I can't wait to take a ride in the carriage.
I can't wait to have you. Too bad it wasn't today.
That's right. He's got to bring the carriage from Watkins Glen, and we're in Hammondsport. But we'll take advantage of it another day. We might even leave your phone number. We'll call you and let you know where you can meet us.
Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
Life, it never stops moving, getting from here to there, managing long hours at work, juggling a busy home. You need a bank that keeps up. That's Chemung Canal Trust Company. Bank online, bank with our mobile app, deposit a check with your smartphone, open an account at Chemung Canal, and bank with us anywhere, anytime. Chemung Canal Trust Company, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
News happens every minute of the day. When you see news happening in your area, call the WENY tip line or email the newsroom directly at news36@weny.com.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic.
So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit SaveTheFood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand For our nation. For each other. For us all. The few. The proud. The Marines.
I'm getting older. Do I need to worry about falling?
Yes, you do. Each year, 1 in 4 people 65 and older will experience a fall, and many will be serious. The majority of falls happen at home, so remove things that could make you trip and install handrails to keep you steady. To learn more about the steps you can take to help prevent a fall, please talk to your doctor. You can also visit aarpfoundation.org or medicaremadeclear.com/falls. This message was brought to you by United Healthcare and AARP Foundation.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Have you ever heard of Bampa's house? I never did. I didn't know what they were, but Joan Wilson is the president, and she's going to tell us. And it's kind of an interesting thing that you need to know about, because sooner or later, you're going to want their help. You never know. Sooner or later, I'm going to want their help. And I hear the program is really interesting. So, Joan Wilson, tell us everything.
All right. Well, Bampa's house started, Henry, back in February of 2016. My older brother passed away from cancer. And during his final days, we were looking for a place for him to go to spend time with his family and say goodbye. And we didn't have the option of going home because of the care that he needed. So the only alternative here in Corning was to go into a nursing home, which is very different in that the care is spread out over a lot of people. The rooms are relatively small and it's more institutionalized. And we were looking for something where a person could go into a home. It may not be their own home, but a home like most people live in, with a living room and a kitchen and bedrooms, a home where the rest of the family could stay and be with him, maybe cook dinner if they wanted with a loved one.
What a nice thinking.
Thank you. Well, we couldn't find that anywhere, although there is one in Steuben County in Wayland, New York, and it's called a Comfort Care Home. And a Comfort Care Home, is defined by New York State, is a residence with up to 2 bedrooms, with fully accessible bathrooms, where there's, they call it surrogate giving, caregiving to the individual. So we studied that model. We studied about 5 of them. There's 19 in total in New York State.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, New York's a leader in this regard. Mm-hmm. But there were none in Chemung County, none in Schuyler, and the 1 in Steuben.
And you're raising money to put one
here?
We
are. We just decided Corning needs that. Corning, Elmira, Watkins, we need an alternative, a home that somebody could go to. And so we started fundraising right after that, around March. Our goal is to raise $750,000, which represents the cost of building the home, furnishing the home, and the first year's operating costs. We need to get that up front. So right about the end of 2017, we're hoping that we have raised about $400,000. So we still need more, but we might have enough to start building a home pretty soon. We've worked on the plans. We have architectural plans that have been done. We studied those other homes and learned what they did right and what they did wrong, and we think we have a wonderful plan.
If somebody wants to keep track of what you're doing, to find out when you're going to be open and when they can apply, good. What should they do? Should they contact you by phone, or is there email?
There's a website.
Bampashouse.com. B-A-M-P-A-S.
B-A-M-P-S. My brother's grandson, his first grandson, couldn't say grandpa. so it came out Bampa. So that's why we've called it Bampa's House. Our official name is Corning Comfort Care, doing business as Bampa's House. And our goal is to have everything in place, at least we're hoping by the end of 2018, if we can pull this off.
Well, it's a wonderful, wonderful cause because you have this philosophy that makes me feel warm.
Thank you, sir.
Somehow I can't wait to come and visit you.
Well, everybody will be welcome. It's actually one of the things in the home is a conference room where we'll train. There's volunteers that work with the individual, the resident, 24/7, around the clock, which is also different from anywhere else. They're trained volunteers, and also the professional hospice organization in this area, which is called Care First, they bring in hospice care. So I like to tell people you're a patient of Care First, but you're a resident of our home.
Is there a certain parameter, a certain qualification that you need to before you apply and come to you?
That's a good question. Usually we get a referral from hospice, and it's usually someone who has 3 months or less, according to their physician. That's not a definite. People live in these homes beyond 3 months. That's okay. We just want to be there to give them a place where the family can be de-stressed, can just enjoy their last days together, talk about the right kind of things, and not worry about, you know, did he get the medicine or did she get the medicine, or what we have to do as family. You don't have to do anything.
You make a sad time tolerable.
I sure hope so. Every model that I've looked at, it's incredible, the atmosphere. It's totally de-stressed.
Do you keep a sense of humor about you?
You do.
It's hard, it's not easy.
I like to say it's better than a book club for the volunteers because they work in 4-hour shifts and they get to know each other and they become family. And so they stop and have coffee in the kitchen and ask about each other's families while they're also giving to somebody.
I have to tell you about one story regarding hospice care and the type of home that you're talking about. Art Buchwald was a columnist for Washington and New York Times and so forth, and he got cancer, and they put him in a hospice in Washington, D.C. And of course he was famous, so he had a lot of celebrity friends, and Tom Brokaw finally came to see him, and this had been extending. We were going to live for 5 months, for 6 months, and he kept living on and on and on. So Tom Brokaw came out, you know, you've been here in the hospice a long time. How do you stay there? He's just been lucky and so forth. And he said, it's a matter of time. So Brokaw said, well, what will you miss most? And Brokaw said, global warming. Congratulations.
Thank you, and
Good
thanks
work.
for the time.
Give them a call, a website, did we say the website?
Bampashouse.com.
Something that's a really good cause, and help them out. I want to be nice to them because I'm going to need them someday.
Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
Life, it never stops moving. Getting from here to there. Managing long hours at work. Juggling a busy home. You need a bank that keeps up. That's Chemung Canal Trust Company. Bank online. Bank with our mobile app. Deposit a check with your smartphone. Open an account at Chemung Canal and bank with us anywhere, anytime. Chemung Canal Trust Company. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Hey there, Twin Tiers. Have you heard the news?
We've reached 75,000 likes on Facebook.
75,000.
Wow.
That's a lot of likes.
There's a flurry of likes rolling into the Twin Tiers. Thank you.
If we had as many footballs as we had likes, that'd be a lot of footballs.
Thanks, Twin Tiers.
We post, you follow. Thanks for the likes, Twin Tiers.
From breaking news to Facebook Live.
It's all about you.
strawberries?
Okay.
The food lover's heart, the book lover's heart, the art lover's heart, the coffee lover's heart, the nature lover's heart, the animal lover's heart, the music lover's heart, all of them happy, healthy, but the heart of someone with pulmonary hypertension, PH for short, labors. PH puts unbearable stress on the heart, which can cause death from heart failure. There is no cure. And PH is often misdiagnosed as a less threatening disease, such as asthma. But with early, accurate diagnosis, new treatments are helping people with PH live longer and better. The Pulmonary Hypertension Association gives hope to PH patients and caregivers. We want people with PH to enjoy their yoga lover's heart, their island lover's heart, their lover's heart. We're putting our heart into finding a cure. To learn more, go to phassociation.org.
Breaking news, weather alerts, and more on the WENY live stream.
Some active weather alerts across the viewing area.
Rain was coming down sideways.
Keep up with breaking news and developing stories across the Twin Tiers.
400 people are being charged.
You're watching WENY.
WENY News brings you a live stream of our newscasts every day. Check out WENY.com/live and our mobile app. Visit WENY.com/live or download our app today. News happens every minute of the day. When you see news happening in your area, call the WENY tip line or email the newsroom directly at news36@WENY.com.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
You need a laugh, you need a show produced, you need something that you can find only in the hands of a genius. And that's what we have today. Big Ern, who not only produces shows, but is a stand-up comedian and a sit-down comedian.
Yes, sir.
Now, if somebody wants to have something, is it mostly for schools or for companies or whatever, and they call you, what happens? And are you that expensive, or are you easy to get?
I'm easy to get because of the fact that
I figured it'd say
I'm
that.
always willing to work with others, and one of the biggest things I do is fundraising. And I like to work with any local organization, you know, autism, cancer, whatever the case may be, to try to raise funds, but give people something good in between by giving them a good laughter in the meantime. You know, laughter can bring a lot. You know, it's good for the soul. It's like a drug. You know what I mean? And I like drugging people. Love it. Love sedating you with my humor. And I don't mean sedating in a bad way where you're gonna go to sleep, because I see you're still smiling and you're blinking, so you're still awake. But it's a good platform to share with the community, you know, give the community something good. And at my shows, I love bringing fresh faces. I don't like oversaturating my shows with the same comedians. You can get a comedian who is very funny and you can enjoy him, but do you want to see him month to month? You know, so I try to bring fresh faces from all over the country. I have a notebook with nearly 400 comedians that I work with that I'm trying to produce shows with, but a show you can get no more than like 5 or 6 comedians on, and you can only do so many shows a year.
Well, Chris Rock is pretty funny as an example,
Chris
but how
Rock's
many
funny.
times can we see him? Quite a lot, actually, because he keeps changing things.
Right, but at the end of the day, comedy isn't as fresh, and it doesn't stay with you like a song would. You know, hey, here we are, you know, 60 years later, they're still playing Frank Sinatra tracks.
And you sing too?
No, well, I try, you know, only in the shower and stuff like everybody else, and or on social media where you can't get feedback immediately until you look at the camera. But, you know, it doesn't stand the same as a fresh, like a song that gives you a memory from a wedding. So nobody's gonna remember a joke from a wedding or a funeral or something of that nature.
How do people contact you, and are you expensive?
Nope, I'm not expensive. There's many ways that we could do this financially when it comes to producing a show. So there's different ways of going about it. You can reach me through Facebook mostly. Big Earns Roundtable of Comedy on Facebook. And
Big Earns Roundtable of Comedy.
Yes, sir. Right on the shirt. Big Earns Roundtable of Comedy.
You got some chest there.
Well, I'm a lot of man. I'm round like a table.
And where did they contact you?
They contact me on Facebook. Besides that, my phone number is 607-341-2250.
So you're up in the area here?
Yep, I'm actually out of Endicott, New York. But I work with anyone in the Southern Tier. I work with comedians as far as Canada and California. I work locally a lot with the Syracuse comedians and the Rochester comedians. Some of my favorite comedians that I like working with is Dwayne Wilt. He's out of Rochester. This guy's amazing. When I say he's funny, he's very funny. You'll see him soon. He's very up and coming. And right here in Corning, you got an amazing comedian by the name of Steve O'Connell. Very funny guy. Love him. And back home, we have a lot of great comics besides myself. We got lots of people like Torrey Seward. He went up to Rochester recently, represented Binghamton in a contest, and he took first place. So our region is popping with a lot of comedians.
How do you get to know all these people?
I communicate through Facebook. I hit open mics. I hit different comedy shows to show support to the other comedians and network and things of that nature. And
you ought to get a hold of them and ask them to come on the show and make people laugh.
Yes, and I contact them, and we negotiate a deal that is a very stand-up deal that we always come through with. Don't ever sell anyone something you can't deliver, and that's one of the problems in this business that I noticed, that you'll get other promoters, they'll promise a comedian that you'll travel hundreds of miles, and they won't provide what they promise. That's one thing I've never done. I've always provided everything I've said that I'm gonna do for them, and I try to stay true and an upstanding guy in this scene, because comedy's fun.
Comedy's fun. Showbiz is kind of erratic, though.
Oh, everything's erratic, on any level. Even in comedy, there's drama, so I call it dramedy. There's people who like to argue and fight and things like that, and but at the end of the day, I myself, I'm trying to provide something great for the community, and anything I can do to help, a fundraiser, a benefit of any kind, you could contact me and we can work something out. It won't come out to be a no from me.
So you're open as far as fees are concerned? I'm
very open when it comes to fees. You have to be fair in this business.
And you take a percentage?
Just a very small one at that. What it is I just get back enough to pay back what I put out in tickets, poster sales, things like that. To get the artwork and the graphics done, so we could put the posters and sell the tickets and things of that nature, and get that back and to pay the comics.
And I guess you need a certain advance notice to it.
Absolutely. I would like at least 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
At least.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. It gives us plenty of time. Hit different platforms, promote it, let people know what's going on.
Now, as a lasting farewell for the moment, until we see you on the stage, what do you want to say that's going to make you immortal?
I don't know if I'm going to say anything that makes me immortal, but at the end of the day, all I can say is live, laugh, love, and embrace every day like it's your last, because it could be.
Al Jolson, remember Al Jolson?
Yes, sir.
Long before our time, your time and my time, he had a song that said, live, love, laugh, and be happy. Remember that one?
No, I'm only 40. 46.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. No,
Well,
sorry.
It was before my time, too.
Well, there was black and white television then, too.
There was no television.
And they used to, really, when you was a kid, they used to draw stuff?
When I was a kid, there was no television.
Hieroglyphics?
You never believed that. We'll be talking about you. You never know. See you soon.
Have a good day.